Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Masters in Machines. I'm your host, Balaji Reddy, and I'm thrilled to be diving into the world of robotics with you today. This is a series about exploring the incredible opportunities in changing the future with technology. And who would be better to guide us than the minds shaping the future right now? Today, we are welcoming some visionary minds who have stepped beyond the academic world and innovators and founders who will be spilling the beans on their journey, turning their dreams to reality. If you're a robotics enthusiast, tech savvy student, or simply someone fascinated by the future, get ready for this electrifying ride, and we will be delving into the advancements, discussing the considerations, and maybe trying to get a glimpse of what we are going to see in the future. Today, we have Samarth Salim joining us from Chandigarh. He's an assistant researcher at NITTTR Chandigarh under the Ministry of Education and the Government of India. First of all, Samarth, I would really like to thank you for taking your time out today and joining us today at this very afternoon working day. I would just like to open the stage for you to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Balaji, for having me. Uh, I'm Samarth Salim. Currently, I'm working as an assistant researcher at the National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research. It's an institute under the Ministry of Education, and I'm working here in the field of nanotechnology. Uh, I did my bachelor's in Mechatronics engineering from Manipal University, Jaipur, and yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Samarth, for sharing. Samarth, so you have completed your mechatronics engineering. You did it in Jaipur. You are basically from Chandigarh, is what I
Yes.
presume. Yes. So, like, what motivated you to go into the field of mechatronics or robotics, or into the core field in particular? Do you have an inspiration that you sought out when you were a child, or was there a mentor who really motivated you to take this up?
Okay, so from my childhood only, I was always fascinated about the things like how things work, uh, and when I planned to do engineering, I had several core branches like the electrical, electronics, computer science, mechanical. But when I was introduced to mechatronics engineering, I got to know that this field has everything in it. Let it be electrical engineering or electronics or mechanical, and we were taught the things how to make things work, and that's the main thing that motivated me to join mechatronics engineering, because I always wanted to do something extra. So yeah, that's why I joined mechatronics engineering.
That is really inspiring, Samat, because
Yes.
a lot of times, like even in my case, there is always a mentor or an inspiration that we look up to, looking at all the series or reading some books about the different scientists around India. And somewhere down the line, mechatronics is a field which is an amalgam of everything. It combines all
Yes.
the different best parts of all the different sciences, and we get to do something in real time. So from after pursuing your bachelor's, how was your journey? Like, how did it go?
Oh, okay. So about my bachelor's, I think I did. I feel like I did quite a well with my bachelor's. During my bachelor's, in my first year only, I published a patent, and I was granted with a patent. I invented a gear test fixture to test the polymer gears. And in my second year, I was selected to for an international internship. I went to Bangladesh, and I did some research on the flying cars. I was a part of the Uber team there. The flying cars, which we would be seeing in 2023, 2030. And after that, in my third year, I was selected by ISRO. I went and I undergone an internship under ISRO in the semiconductor laboratory. I worked in the fields of MEMS technology, and I learned about the semiconductor fabrication and all. And then I did several more projects. I published two or three more patents, and I invented uh, one dahi churner during my bachelor's. I invented a gear test rig, and in my final year, I went to Malaysia for doing this. In Malaysia, I was working on the vibration analysis of polymer gate testing. Yeah, and after my bachelor's, I joined NITTTR.
That is really inspiring to listen to you, because considering how journey of an Indian student during his or her bachelor's goes ahead, it is really inspiring that you were able to publish your first patent in your first year itself, and then moving on for international internships and getting to be associated with ISRO in that whole 4 years, and then being joining NITTTR. So that is really inspiring, Samarth. So could you share a little bit more on your experience publishing your first patent? So how did it start? What motivated you to go ahead with it?
Okay, so for my first patent, actually, it was just a project only. I had my professor, Mr. Mohit Jain, and he just called us for if anyone wants to learn about new things, and just you know he just looked into the curiosity of people, and I think he felt that I was very curious to learn about new things, and that was the point that changed my life. And he just caught me and taught me how to design machines, and thereafter I learned how uh, 3D designing works, and how to design and simulate things. Yeah, and on that only I designed the first. I invented a gear test fixture to test the polymer gears.
That is really great. First of all, to be having a mentor like your faculty, Mr. Mohit Jain, is
Yes,
really interesting because a lot of times Indian students fail to find that right mentor who is really going to push them to better heights. Like
yes, obviously.
give them that exposure that they are looking for. Everyone joins a particular field with a passion, or they always have an interest. Once they're joined, the interest eventually follows along. But somewhere down the line, you kind of need a mentor to really push you and give you that proper exposure that you need. And yes, no, that is, I mean, your journey itself, when you shared your brief with me, I was really inspired listening to it because that was something that I envisioned for myself in the future as well. So now coming to the next interesting thing about your international internship being one in Bangladesh about flying cars. So can you give us a glimpse on what was that about? Like, what were the different stages, or how did you apply, and how did that opportunity come to you?
Okay, so about my first international internship in Bangladesh, it was under the College of Aviation Technology. My professor was Dr. Suman Sarkar. Actually, in our college, we had an organization named ISTE. I don't know, like other colleges do have it or not. But in our institute, we had this ISTE organization, and what they did, they organized. They got us offers from international colleges, and some exchange offers, and through that
Okay.
only I applied it and got selected by the employer. And then I worked. It was basically a collaboration work of the university with Uber, and they were my work was to design the flying car, which I designed quite well. And after that, I did some CFD analysis using COMSOL and SimScale. Yeah, that was it.
That is something really great. A lot of when we talk about engineering and tier two, tier three cities, a lot of times there are no exchange programs. Like even within states, if you ask me, there are not a lot of exchange opportunities that students usually get their hands on. But it is really interesting to see that you were able to crack that position out there, and then excelling after going there, excelling and being credited, and being able to work on something so futuristic, and with an MNC like Uber is something that everyone would love to pursue in their bachelor's journey. Most usually take it after their masters or PhDs, something after putting a lot of efforts during their education in those parts. is where they end up in a situation like that. But it is really inspiring to see you doing that. So Samarth, apart from like, let's take a shift from the educational side. So how was your experience in Manipal, apart from all this educational accolades that you were able to do? So
Okay,
yeah.
so coming to my college life was the most lovable and remarkable experience I had in my life.
Mhm.
I made some great friends, and I never thought that I had some leadership qualities also. And during my college, I was convener for several fests, and I organized several big fests for the college. And I was too the president for the Institution of Engineers Mechatronics student chapter. I held the I headed the club for 1 year, and it was quite a great journey for me.
Great, great, Samarth. Like apart from all the educational accolades, like investing a lot of time, college is something that we will remember based on the experience that we have. It's a good college based on how our experience is, even though if it's good or not. So listening to how you were able to show off your like be a leader amongst everyone and perform well is something that is really inspiring for everyone to listen. Like even if anyone from Manipal gets a glimpse of this podcast or this series, they would be really inspired listening to your journey, and maybe they would be turning back pages in the archives to just find out that there was a Samarth Salim out here who has really made a mark out. So Samarth, moving on. So how was your experience with ISRO? How did you apply to it? Uh, and how was the selection process? How was your journey throughout that internship as well?
Okay, so coming to ISRO, I think that's the one of the greatest achievement done by me. Uh, ISRO, opens internships for bachelor's and master students twice a year. Uh, the deadlines for the same are like for summer internship, it's like the deadline is 31st March, and for winter internship, it's 31st October. And you have to directly apply on their labs website. Like they have like 10 or 11 or 12 labs throughout the country, which works in a specific field. Like we have SEC Ahmedabad, we have VSEC, and we have this semiconductor laboratory, which is in Mohali. And this specific lab works on the specific domain, and you have to just apply on their website. You have to send your CV and your marks. They and they make a merit list out of it, checking your academics and your achievements, your CV. They do check your 10th and 12th marks too. And on them on merit basis, they make a selection. And every year, like each lab selects around 20-25 students to undergo internship under them. And that is how I too applied in the semiconductor laboratory, because I always wanted to learn about the semiconductor industry, how fabrication works, and in the same field, most probably I'll be pursuing my future. And that is how I applied in SCL, and I got selected there to undergo 6 weeks training. There I learned about how. There I was assigned the project called. I was fabricating deformable mirror, which was
Okay.
used, the same technology which was used by NASA in the James Webb Telescope. And I fabricated the deformable mirror. There were around 850 to 900 steps in the fabrication of deformable mirror, the nano fabrication, and around 26 steps were done by me. And you will be, fascinated to learn that, know that the same mirror was used in Chandrayaan 3, and I worked on that.
That
And
is
yeah, exactly. So that was a greatest achievement. It was a
that
great
is
experience. I'll tell. Uh, I would love to see every bachelor student to fighting for ISRO, and maybe you should once in your lifetime visit uh, ISRO. and learn that, and know that how things work and how ISRO works and what is the level of scientists working there.
That is, I mean, that is really inspiring someone to listen about your journey, like how from a very large data set of merit list, you were able to, come on top. First of all, congratulations on that. And then getting to work on the project that you did, which was used at the end in the Chandrayaan 3 is something that is way above, because I was not expecting that, not expecting to hear that in this podcast, but it is really inspiring, and I'm personally, having a different level of excitement listening to what you have to say. I don't know how our viewers would perceive it, but for me, it was something beyond expectations. It's more like dreams coming true. To be honest, first being selected out of that entire large data set is like a dream come true, and then able to work on something that is a landmark for our country. That can be a landmark for our country in the field of space technology is really inspiring. So Samarth, now that was
Okay,
one. Yeah,
sorry, Balaji, to cut you.
yeah,
Uh, I think I would like to, tell you more about this deformable mirror, the technology I have
sure,
worked,
sure, sure.
which was, you know, the part was used in Chandrayaan 3. Actually,
Mhm.
the thing in, you know, when we click a photo in how a DSLR works, we have a subject,
Yeah,
we have a subject, we have a shutter which opens, and we have a sensor which is exposed,
yes,
and the image is clicked. But in space, this thing doesn't work because the distance from the subject and the sensor in between this distance is very large. And due to this, what happens? The minimum area which we could click from space is 1 kilometer square area, and it's a large area. And what happens? Like the density of air varies from point to point in this area. Like the density of air in this room would be different from the density in other room. And the speed of light varies on this density. So when the sensor is exposed, its pixels, when they are to lit up, what happens? Uh, some light rays strike the sensor early, and some light rays strike the sensor with a delay. And due to this, what happens? The image which we produce is somewhere we have clear pixels and somewhere we have blurry pixels. And to correct this thing, what the scientists were doing, we were applying image processing. We clicked around 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 10 million pictures, and by the help of image processing, we were able to get a clear picture. Okay, but this thing is very time consuming. We need data consuming. We need a very large quantity of data. So to overcome this problem, what we did, we invented a deformable mirror, a mirror which deforms. It's made of silicon wafer, and it has actuators um underneath it. And when electricity applied to the actuators due to electrostatic equation, the mirror deforms. And we, you know, rearrange the system. We placed the sensor on top. We placed a deformable mirror here. The subject was here. The shutter was here only. When we clicked the button, the shutter opened, and the sensor was first exposed to the deformable mirror. And what this deformable mirror did, it corrected that deformations. It has those tufts and crafts, and it corrected the light rays. And the corrected light rays were then put to sensor, and the image was crystal clear in one go only. So this deformable mirror was technology. This was made, which was designed by SAC Ahmedabad, and it has been fabricated at Semiconductor Laboratory, Mohali.
That is, thank you so much, first of all, for really explaining each and every part for everyone to understand. I was going to ask you to give some more light on how this system works. and then coming down to really talk about the different patents and projects that you were going to do. But thank you for really enthusiastically explaining it to us and making it easy for everyone to understand. Because a lot of times people don't know how things happen. They just think that there's the space research has been there is space research going on until and unless, and there are only points in an entire year or points in an entire decade when we see that yeah there is some the results don't really come out in the newspapers and social media that this is the work that we've been doing, but somewhere down the line people should really understand of all the efforts, all the intellect and all the people who are behind everything that is happening. Even a small progress in this field is a milestone for the country, and every Indian should be proud of what you guys have achieved and what we are going to achieve even in the future, and what we have achieved even in the past. Everyone should know a little bit about it. Everyone should understand about it and feel proud of themselves. So thank you for sharing that. And now coming down to the flying cars design that you made. So you told me that we would be able to see it in 2030. So
Yes.
can you share a little bit more on how those flying cars would look? Are they going to look similar to what we have now, or what we have seen in movies when we were kids, or are we seeing even now?
Okay. I designed my flying car in first year, and as you said that, yeah, it was the design was somewhat like we see in James Bond movies. The wings would come out from the car, or we would have thrusters to lift the car. Yeah, uh, the design language was same, uh, did by me, which we see in movies and all.
And like working with Uber, how
Mhm.
did the design change anyway, or was it completely different on something that we should be seeing in 2030?
I don't know about that because it was a
Hmm.
project, and I just submitted my project,
Okay.
and they were around they would be out around 1,000 or 2,000 designs which would they get, and from
Okay.
that they would be selecting, and I don't know that my design was selected or not. Maybe we'll get to know in 2030.
No, that is really fine, and I'm really excited about this entire field of technology, like bringing things to reality from what we've seen in the past. We're pretty close. Like I think the recent news that came in, I believe yesterday, was that
Hmm.
we're producing the first bipedal robot dogs made in India. Just like how we see it on YouTube from Boston Dynamics or other companies out there, they're able to produce the same efficient machines now for India, and eventually Indians being the best consumers in the world is what I feel. They would put these machines to use in different fields compared to our neighboring countries and other countries in the world. So
And
now,
yes,
yeah,
yesterday we too had an announcement for the first semiconductor fab in India by
mhm,
Tata. Yeah, and I feel that it's a great milestone in this year. I really thank that I really want to see that this country growing in semiconductor field, because I feel like that semiconductor is the future. We need chips,
yes,
and if a country wants to be a developed country, it should succeed in semiconductor field,
true, true.
and it's a great
Like
decision by our government.
yeah, like taking in point of the technological revolution that we started off with. India is always known for its IT sector, because of the workforce that we produce,
Mhm.
because of the workforce and like the larger volume in workforce, the greater we could see in results is
Mm.
what I feel. But somewhere down the line, when it comes to core engineering fields like electronics, mechatronics, mechanical, and somewhere down the line, robotics is the new and new and sleek version of all of this combined. There's a lot of Indian students don't really take it up. I do see a lot now with the Atal Tinkering Labs initiative by our government. We do see a lot of school students taking this taking it up as a passion, but we don't know where they'll end up in the coming years. Like it is for the future, we can't predict it now itself on how things will go ahead. So for India to be big, to really claim that title of being one of the developed countries, we are surely becoming one of the strongest position in the entire world. And like a lot of people say, what is in the titles and name? But I think eventually down the line, once we're a developed country, we will see a lot of change in how our country progresses in terms of the field of sciences, completely in terms of economics and in terms of business growth is what is something that every Indian should be thinking about. Every student, in fact, because they are the backbone of what this is going to how this development is going to come across. So, Samath, moving on about your journey. So, from ISRO, you told that you went to Malaysia for your final year's exchange and internship program. So, could you share put some light on that experience, how it was, where did you do it, and how was your journey throughout?
Okay, before Malaysia, I applied to Switzerland, I got rejected. I applied to Germany, I got rejected. And this Malaysia part was the last on my list to go. Uh, and unfortunately, I don't know, I got selected in Malaysia, and I think it was a destiny for me. And because I had a great time in Malaysia. I was working in I was working with the University Malaysia Pahang. It's a government university, a fully funded government university in Malaysia. It was situated in Pahang state. It's a beautiful state in Malaysia. I was working there for around 7 months. I was in Malaysia. I worked on the prediction and prevention of gear failures using condition-based monitoring. I applied the vibration analysis. I predicted how a gear fails, and how to prevent the gear failures in the gearbox. Yeah.
That is really great, Samath, for 7 months. Your journey is also having a lot of ups and downs, as you shared with us. It's not all like most of us do predict when we see a bright career growth, we eventually neglect the falling pieces. But
Yes.
to see you having an up and down is something that everyone can relate to, and people would not anyone who gets a glimpse of your story would not be saddened by the fact that there are some downs in the line. And now coming to and talking about your journey for 7 months in Malaysia, working with the University of Malaysia, uh, government funded university. So, predicting about gear failures, that would be a lot of technical conversation for this platform at the moment. But Samarth, could you share why do gear like just for a quick and
Mm-hmm.
simple understanding on in terms of mechanics, why does this happen? Why do we need a predictive model that you shared, or is there anyone in India currently, or are there any startups or someone who have really made a product or service out of this and are growing in this field? So that our listeners or students or anyone across the country would just keep an eye out and have a better understanding that this is something that is actually working on. Someone is working on
Oh,
this.
okay. So coming to gears, actually, what we see nowadays in on machines and all, we see most of the time we see steel gears, and the steel gears have many disadvantages. We have lots of vibration. We have acoustic failures. We have to lubricate the steel gears, and most of all, the steel is a natural resource. And what we planned, actually, all these projects were interlinked by my career. Uh, in industry, we are still using steel gears, and we wanted to, you know, change the steel gears with something new. What we did, we invented polymer gears, and these polymer gears had this. What we thought that these polymer gears would have the same strength and same running capacity as the steel gears. And moreover, these polymer gears won't be needing any lubrication, and polymer isn't a natural resource; it's a man-made thing. And the stresses on these polymer gears were much less than the steel gears. And to test these polymer gears, we didn't had any specific machines. The thermal properties of steel gears were different from polymer gears. And to test these polymer gears, we need we need several a new test rig. So this test rig, we were working at my university in Jaipur only, with Manipal University, and we had an idea of this to design and develop this test rig. So to look at the design and how things work in a test rig, I went to Malaysia. It was basically a collaborative project with my university, and I went to Malaysia, and I looked into the design, how a steel gear test rig works. And then what I did that I loaded the same polymer gears on that steel gear test rig, and I achieved different results and all. And I came back to India, and now I'm designing this specific test rig for polymer gears.
That is really great, someone to being able to work. Like it is a collaborative project, and you sent as an exchange. And I feel it is more of a research exchange, is what I feel.
Yes, yes,
Being
yes.
to be selected to be sent out Malaysia and getting to work on something that you've been working initially, and fully completing on the challenges that you face is really inspiring. And now talking about you, Samarth. So apart from working on mechatronics, working on gears, and working on different designs, so are there any other initiatives that you are a part of, or how do you spend your daily time?
Okay. Initiative. Last month only I've started a company named the Solar. In this, we have several topics. We have fitness, we have 3D printing, and we go to government schools and some private schools. There we collaborate with schools, and I have 5 6 people in my team, and we go to these schools, and we teach school kids about the 3D printing, about Arduinos, about Tinkercad, how things work, and we sometimes charge something some nominal charge with the students. Yeah, that's one of the great initiative by me.
That that is really great, Samarth, listening to it, because with quantum robotics, a little bit about us, as we have our own. We started off as an edtech. We started off as an edtech. We have our own developed LMS platform where different engineering students can find courses only related to core robotics or robotics field. I wouldn't even say mechatronics because we are yet to delve into that. And we also do a couple of workshops offline for the local schools and colleges. So listening to what you started is that I do see a potential opportunity to collaborate, or me joining in. And I would like, this is a completely different conversation now between us again. But
Sure,
it is
Balaji.
really inspiring to see that you're also putting your field back into teaching people now, even as a part of NITTTR in Chandigarh. You are an assistant researcher and professor, so you are not just putting your efforts in, you're also really inspiring the younger audience and generation by being with them, is something really interesting and important, because a lot of times we do forget that we kind of need to be in the same mixed bag to really inspire that entire bag of students. So how was your journey with NITTTR? Like how has it been, and what do you do basically out there? Like what are the different things that happen on a day-to-day?
Okay, so it's just been a month I've joined
Okay.
NITTTR, and here I'm working on a software called from company Synopsys. The software is named Quantum ATK, and I'm working on the nanomaterial simulation, and currently we are simulating graphenes uh, for wafer fabrication. Yeah, that's all I'm working on currently
Okay.
because it's just been a month.
Okay.
Okay.
Agreed. Agreed. Uh, yes, Samarth. So, like, listening to your whole experiences, like, I personally am very inspired, and even seeing you dwelling into entrepreneurship is something that is really exciting me to keep the conversation going. So, but that is from a different perspective, and we would really like to have you on board once again, just to speak about your entrepreneurial journey and how has it been going since it's really recently started. I would really like to invite you again on this platform. So now coming to wrap it up over these topics. So some of the lot of Indian students do tend to not pursue core engineering, though they do complete their professional studies in it, is what I can call it. They complete the professional studies in it, they get a degree out of it, but a lot of them shift to the IT field because of the glamorous, glamorous world that it portrays out. Not just after getting into it is what people understand that there is hard work even there, but they do tend to miss out on these opportunities. So, what do you feel is the biggest you know problem on why this is happening? Why do people change fields?
Okay, the people who change their fields from mechanical to they go to IT. I feel like personally, I don't like such kind of people because I feel like they just wasted a seat in mechanical engineering, and it's not the thing that what I feel that they changed their field just because of money. Maybe they are paid much in the IT field, and they feel like they could earn more. But what I feel that in future this won't be the case, and this year only we saw a downfall with the placements. I know some great tech giants like Accenture, Wipro, they this year they didn't hire as many candidates they were hiring in previous years, and you know I feel like neither of the field is you know less good or more good. If you are a master of a field, a specific field, you know nobody can stop you from becoming what you want, and even it be civil engineering or mechanical, you know you should be a master of it and just go into the depth of the field, and if if everyone would be a IT engineer or CS engineer, and who will make the buildings for us, will be who will simulate some things.
True, 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 true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, Samantha, I do feel like from my point, considering even the situation, it is not just for the IT, but general MNC like it is a glamorous world that has been portrayed. Like it doesn't come just from the students, even the parents are somewhere down the line. So, so brainwashed or so starstruck that they do push their children into that same field, even though now, say, consider a student now currently in his 10th or 11th is working with an ATL lab or a private lab. Even in this current scenario, he's really passionate. He or she is really passionate. But somewhere down the line, parents also tend to look into how glamorous the world of IT is, and then send them in that direction, and they eventually end up on that train. There's no like there is a turning back, but for 4 years, it's completely locked for them, and then obviously monetary values, how like somewhere down the line, country has also like we are a workforce in the field of IT. We are known to be IT specialist. So somewhere down the line, that stereotype is also what sticks around. And
Yeah,
the last reason is what I feel is people don't know the potential that is there in the core engineering fields. Like we call it history, but at the end of the day, we learn from our mistakes and we learn from the history that teaches us. And looking at how the current scenario is, even top tier colleges are not able to, get the right placements. There is a recession struck. A lot of MNCs are not able to, not taking it up just so that they don't fulfill the promise for the younger generation. So there is a lot of opportunity, and even in this field, a lot of new startups are coming up. Samarth has also started something of his own. So there is a long way, like in a longer run, this is the field that would make India again proud of. We would change from a working workforce of IT to a workforce of engineering or a workforce of science, like what we were from our past. That is what I feel India should be aiming for. So Samarth, so just on a basic front, if anyone post or after listening to everything that we spoke about, if there is someone who really wants to now take core as his profession, take up core during their studies, what are some basic skills that they should be really familiar with to crack opportunities like you? What were the
Okay,
skills that helped you out? Yeah.
I'll tell you about mechanical engineering.
Mhm.
Uh, the basic skill, what I feel, uh, one should know about CAD designing, machine designing, how to design a machine, how to the ability to design things. He must be knowing how things work. He must be knowing. He should have that curiosity to question that why this thing works, or if this thing is not working, why is it not working. One's machine design, and he should know one electronic simulation software. He must be knowing we have Proteus ISIS, any ISIS software, and any Spice software, and you know he should have leadership, good leadership qualities. Uh, yeah, I think this is the basic on some you know the major skill one should
Yeah, you can call it the
a
foundations.
mechanical, yeah, a foundation
The
skill
foundations.
a mechanical engineer should have.
Great, great. Thank you so much for putting some light on these topics, because a lot of times people do tend to forget that when you want to build something, you need your foundations to be at most strong.
Right.
Even if that falls, your foundations are going to be there for you to restart working on it. So really, thank you so much for sharing that. And we're almost on closing time. We're on a hard stop to it. And I wanted to know just one advice for everyone listening out there, not just for the students, everyone listening out there. So one last statement from you, a closing statement. So what would that be?
mm, a closing statement would be, I believe innovation is the most powerful force to change the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking out your time. And thank you for sharing your exciting and inspiring journey with every one of our listeners who are out here. I personally am like doing this series was just a pilot for me, to be honest. It was something that I came up with, and we started off doing it. We're doing the fourth episode, and after meeting the four different individuals, I am personally really inspired looking at everyone and coming from different corners of the world. You're able to share what you've been doing, different corners of the country, in fact, how the country is progressing. There are some great minds in the country that people don't know about, or there are great initiatives that are going on in different domains, different cities. You just can't pinpoint each and every one, but everyone is doing such great work. And I'm again thanking you for joining us on this call today, taking your time out and sharing your experience. That's it for
Thank you
our
so much,
list.
Balaji.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, for staying tuned. Just keep an eye out for the next episode that is coming up. We would be really thrilled to have someone like Samarth again, and looking forward to meeting you again. Thank you.